Yo, what's happening? Happy Friday, hope you're good. Welcome to show 404. 404. So today we are going to talk about something that I think is widespread, spreading through men at the minute. Probably not helped by the media either. So we're just going to really bring up the subject. The whole point of bringing up the subject is to bring levels of awareness about this subject so that you can do something about it, all right? So as per usual, let's get into it. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Boardman. And if you are coming through, you can let me know in two different ways. You can hit the love heart button. Okay, or number two, which I'd love you to do anyway, is in the comments, tell me how your week's been. Let me know if you had a good week, a bad week, a constructive week, a non-productive week, and let me know. And then, as always, if this would help someone that you know, please do share. All right, so I titled this, "Oh, do shut up." So I went on quite a big run yesterday, and part of that run was planned that I was going to get the train home. Okay, it's a couple of stops before I get back, and I was sitting on a train, and I was quite moody as it was because it was quite a disappointing run for me. And I was sitting there, and I was listening to this group that was next to me on the train, and all they were fucking doing was moaning. And complaining. If it wasn't about the cost of living, it was about fucking some other idiot, it was about some other thing. And I promise you, like the whole way home, they did not stop complaining and moaning. They had nothing positive to say about anything. And I was literally on the brink of saying, "Oh, do shut the fuck up," because I don't want to hear it anymore. I could see opposite, not directly here, but just the next carriage down, the guy was looking at me, and we kind of had this look at each other as to say, "God, fuck, I can't wait to get off this train." You could, do you know what I mean? You could tell that we were both thinking the same thing. And I think there is an element of this going on everywhere. Like, listen, like I think complaining is like a habit that we don't even realise that we're doing. Like, don't get me wrong, like I will sometimes slip, like there's so many roadworks around this where we live at the minute. I don't know if it's the same with you, it's like the end of year budget's being spent, but it's quite frustrating, and sometimes you just have to have a good old rant and complain. But I think there has to be a line between it completely consuming. For me personally, I feel like complaining breeds a negative mentality. And it kind of strips us off seeing the good in everything that's happening around us. And I think positivity is not something that we can have all of. We can't go around going, "Yeah, I'm fucking positive every day, every fucking minute or hour of the day." We can't do that, right? But I do believe that we have to try and be as optimistic, as positive, and we have to try and find the good in everything that's going on, right? Let's take cost of living, for example. There's nothing you can fucking do about it. It's out of your control. Like, the media and the radio have been harping on about it since I can fucking remember, right? Like, it's everywhere. Even adverts they're now trying to help sell products by going, "We know there's a kind of," and it's just seeping in negativity everywhere, okay? And I'm just like, "Oh, fuck off, will you?" Right? Let's just get on with it. Let's just get on with it. Like, and one of the things that I really learned when I was in the military was just that process of just getting on with it. Like, get up, let's go. This is the situation. Let's deal with it. Have your good fucking rant when it first happens, and then get on with it. Okay. And I feel like when we're around people, like I can't stand being around like people like that. So like, If I go out with friends or there's friends around and they start moaning or complaining, I'll literally walk away, because it just breeds negativity, and it's like a domino effect. As soon as one person starts, the other people will be like, yeah, anyway, I agree. And then you're just like, oh God, I do like, come on. So, shut the fuck up and stop moaning. Because it's not going to get you anywhere. What we're trying to do, what I'm trying to do for guys, is self-leadership. So when you lead you lead those around you, okay? Part of being a leader is always looking for that positive side of things, and we can have that positive influence on the people around us. Like if I hear my missus moaning, I'll tell her to shut the fuck up, because I don't want to hear it about the moaning, and she'll do the same to me, and I think that's important. And I think there is a really, it does turn into it. It's a really good point, Christine. This does turn into the victim mentality, which is what I'm slowly moving to. Because what we do is we carry all of that negativity and that complaining, and then we really feel sorry for ourselves. And what happens when we feel sorry for ourselves? We don't show up. We stop showing up. We stop doing the things that benefit us. And it's quite incredible how neurologically this works inside of your circuit, inside of your brain. It's kind of like one to the other to the other. So it starts off with something happening, usually from the government or something that most people complain about. Then it turns into, that person becomes quite negative. That person then desperately feels sorry for themselves, and victim mentality. That then becomes the byproduct of like your downward spiral, and then you'll complain about that. Do you know? So I always believe that complaining and doing a positive review is really important, and reviewing is a self-awareness thing. Okay, so when we positively review, a lot of our clients, I'm always like we're constantly doing accountability, we're constantly doing reviewing to self-assess ourselves. So how do we catch the complaining? How can we do anything about this? And I believe, like anything, like smoking or eating chocolate, it's like one of those unconscious habits you don't realise you're doing. And what we have to try and do is, if you don't want to be that person, if you don't want to promote in your own mind a negative victim mentality off the back of complaining, what we can do is we've got to try and catch it, right? So there's like this little switch inside of our head that we flick, and it goes, fuck, I'm complaining again, shut up. And I did this with one of my high level coaching groups. I said, right, the aim of the week is not to complain. Like every single day, not going to complain, not going to complain, not going to complain. So what we're trying to do is put in the forefront of the mind to make a conscious effort to catch when we start complaining. And when we review ourselves at the end of each day or in the morning on our morning routine, it's like challenging ourselves as that, right, today I am not going to complain about anything. Because I think that over a 7-day period, if you can go through a 7-day period and you could not complain, okay, I think it's near on impossible, but you could catch yourself every time that you complain to bring yourself back out of it. I think you would feel actually monumentally much better, emotionally much better. I really believe it. And if you want to have a challenge next week or over the weekend, is try not to complain about anything. The minute you catch yourself, go, caught you, and then come out of it. And for some of you, you might not catch it. For some of you, you might catch it right away. For some of you, it might be inconsistent. But being present of mind, I really think this has a huge effect on your positivity, on your outlook on life, on your get up and go. Okay. And I really think it could make a huge difference to how you show up as the leader to your own life and the people around you, right? And this becomes part of the bigger picture of controlling the external world, like forcing out this external world by building up the fort. So the fort is our brain here. But if we can build a force field to not allow external influences or factors to consume us, everything that's happening in the world can happen, crack on, like whatever is happening. Let it all crack on. But as long as that we can manage our own emotions and mentality and mindset, and one of the things that we can do to help that is not moaning, not complaining, then it's going to only inherently make us better human beings, right? Better to be around, nicer to be around, more positive with our outlooks. So that's it. Shut the fuck up with you moaning.